All right, folks, welcome back. We are here, day 3 of AWS reInvent in the MongoDB Emerald Lounge, graciously provided to us so that we can hang out with our fellow AWS heroes. And we are here now with Jeremy. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Jeremy Daly. I'm the CEO and one of the founders at Amped and a serverless hero.
Wonderful to have you on. This is the standard vBrownBag person on the street interview where we chat with luminaries, super smart folks, and then there's Jeremy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna ask him a couple of questions.
All right, love it.
All right. So of the announcements that we've seen so far, has anything stood out to you? Anything that you're particularly excited about?
I mean, those Trainium chips are pretty exciting. No, I'm just kidding.
I love the chips. Tell me more about the instances.
Yeah, I'll tell you more about some EC2 instances. No, so I'm pretty excited about all the Lambda announcements. Things that are coming out with EventBridge and some of those other things. Anything that's really related to the serverless space. A little disappointed with serverless Elasticache because again, it's another one of those. There's a eCPU or whatever. You pay $90 flat fee per month. And whether you have, a megabyte of data in there, or you've got, 90 or whatever it is, almost a gig, you still pay that base price. So I really like the Memento model and the Upstash model, right, where it's sort of like you're not paying to have it provisioned, you're just paying for those, sort of one-off things. So every request you pay for. So I like that model better because of the isolation model for developers. I think it's better to have the bulkheads where everybody can spin up the same services in every single account that they have, and it's all isolated. But I guess we're not there yet with some of these things. So, but yeah.
Can I say that I genuinely appreciate that you did not say generative AI once?
Wait, what's generative AI?
It's a fad.
Oh, it is? Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, no. So, yeah, unfortunately, I thought it was great that the keynote yesterday didn't mention Gen AI for like 15 minutes.
A record.
But then the entire remaining 2 hours and 15 minutes was all about Gen AI. So, I mean, there's a lot of really great use cases for it. I think that one of the interesting things that, was mentioned by Selevsky was the idea that, everything's moving really fast. And it's like, yeah, everything's moving very fast and people are trying different things. I think the idea of like what ChatGPT did with its latest release and, just building in the task runners and some of those other things, they're called workflows, whatever they're called there. But essentially, I mean, it just eliminated an entire class of startups that was trying to build some of those things.
It really did, didn't it?
It did. And I knew it right from the beginning, and we saw a lot of people getting investments for these, basically AI workflows, and I'm like, that makes no sense. Like, why would these AI providers not do that themselves? So, so I feel bad for a lot of people that kind of jumped on that train. I think there are some use cases that require very precise niche sort of interactions with these models. But I mean, things are moving very, very fast. I love that everybody's starting to finally focus on the hallucinations, right? So whether that's with RAG or something else doing that, the Amazon Q stuff is actually really, really interesting. I think it could be helpful. AWS is a beast. It's really hard to learn everything. We've already tested a few questions where we've gotten questionable responses, and we're like, and then also I had this interesting conversation with someone I will not name from AWS, but essentially the people who are sort of curating some of that Q content as well, I mean, they could make or break a service team, you know what I mean? Like they could recommend a certain thing over another one, and how do you do that internally, and how do you manage and balance that internally when it's not necessarily the right choice for a specific developer where, so anyways, I mean, I think there's just a lot of problems with the implementation. I don't know if you noticed this, but the Anthropic Claude V2 model, they just doubled the prices on Bedrock.
Somebody mentioned that, yeah.
Which is insane. It's already ridiculously expensive. I mean, it's 3 cents to generate an image or 4 cents to generate an image. If you're using some of these 200,000 token models now, I mean, it's just going to be cost prohibitive to do a lot of these things. And if people are building in their own chatbots and things like that, I mean, I'm not sure it's going to be cheaper than just paying humans to be able to respond to some of this stuff. So I'll be interested to see where it goes. I mean, obviously, with Amped, with the product Amped, we built a whole layer on top of Bedrock. very, very easy for you to interact with those models. We give you simple, like, a summarized model. We give you a translate model that actually uses Amazon Translate instead of the more expensive Bedrock models to do that. But you can have like a chat model and an image, or a render model that generates images. So we give you a really thin layer to do that. And I do think there are legit use cases and really, really cool things. But the same way that serverless has kind of faded into the background of our apps, I want AI to fade into the background of our apps. I don't want to know you're using AI. I just want to assume you're probably using AI in a smart way to solve my problem better. And I feel like that's how people are using serverless now. And again, serverless can mean anything you want it to mean now, but I really do like that people are just using serverless workflows, or they're using step functions and EventBridge and all these other things behind the scenes, or Lambda functions. They're orchestrating, or they're working with Lambda functions to orchestrate things within Kubernetes. I mean, it's like, yeah, it just makes sense. Like, you just need to have this stuff, but it's got to fade into the background.
Right.
So that's what I'm hoping with AI.
Lower the friction on it, exactly.
Right.
Cool. Well, thank you for your insights. Super appreciate having you on the show, as always. Folks, Jeremy Daly, we will be putting his getamp.com.
Getamp.com, yes.
Will be in the show notes.
AMPT.
I don't know why I put the microphone up to your t-shirt. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much.